Hey guys, welcome to Master Gaming VR. We are back in the raw data PvP build. This is the second PvP weekend, and I wanted to take a look at the characters, give them each their own video, as they're slightly different than what you find in campaign mode. They are more or less just generic versions of our heroes. Since Eldar, or the Rogue Hunter, is new, we're going to start with him. So let's just go over his abilities really quick. He's got a bow and arrow for his weapon, obviously. His first ability is Crystal Decoy, and this is kind of weird. It's down here on your hip. You walk over to wherever you want it, and you grab this little device here, which is kind of hard to get to in the heat of combat. And it drops this little guy here, and he mirrors everything you do until he takes a set amount of damage. He doesn't move anywhere. Once he takes a set amount of damage from the enemy team, he will actually blow up and deal damage to anyone in melee range. So we won't be able. We may see that later. He's a little difficult to use in the heat of battle. Well, yeah, so here is the info on that. I don't think we necessarily need to go through that. Oh, hey, there's a fifth guy here. Oh, no, that's just generic controls. Never mind. I got excited for a second. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at... let's take a look at Tagging Arrow first. That makes the most sense. So, Tagging Arrow... When you don't need to pull from... I didn't do that. You don't need... I think it might be because I'm in the character selection. You don't need to pull from your quiver to fire arrows. You just grab the bow and an energy arrow appears. If you reach over your head and press the trigger button, you'll get a tagging arrow. And this one, when you shoot, will have an explosion. Now I don't have anyone in here to show it off, but we'll go out there and start fighting in a minute. That will tag enemies, and they will take increased damage, and it will also, anyone that is tagged, regular arrows will home in on them. Specially modified arrow that tags targets an area, allowing all other arrows to home in on any tagged target you're looking at. I was told while at Servios that it also increased damage done to them. That may or may not be true still. That was a couple of builds ago. But that is his tagging arrow. The next is the charge arrow. So this empowers an arrow for a more destructive shot, and you've kind of seen that already. You can fire quickly, like this, but you see the size of the head is tiny. If you hold it back and charge it, you see the head gets larger like that. That, I believe, adds a piercing effect to it. It just does more damage. Released fire, yeah, it just has a more powerful arrow. I was told it was a piercing arrow, but hold on a second. Muting is apparently not working. Oh, okay. So the next ability is let's do multi-shot next. So for this, you pull out an arrow. That was the wrong arrow. I like to grab over my shoulder for the quiver. Too much time in quiver. While you have an arrow knocked and ready, press the left trigger, and you'll see 4 more arrows pop up. And these will go whichever way you're pointing your bow. So you can do like an Ash's volley from long, and they'll go out sideways, or you can do a vertical shot and send them all into a single person. Let's do more out here so you can see what I mean. It's kind of hard to see, but you see the arrows after they land. We'll do it diagonal so you can see a little bit better what I mean. Right, so that is that, and your, I guess, ultimate, if we want to call that, is Explosive Arrow. And this is not so much your 2-hour, but you will do this while pressing the right trackpad, or I guess your dominant hand trackpad, since you can change your controls around. You slide right, and then you get this guy. I'm not certain that it works. I don't think it works with the piercing. So if you let it charge up to a piercing shot, like I did with the first time, you won't get the explosion. Now that does pair with... Well, so this is a bug right now. Ignore that. Alright, there you go. So if you pair it with this shot, all of them should be explosive. So if you tag somebody and then you explosive shot and then you fire all 5 of them, all 5 of those will home in on the same guy, and that guy's just dead. Alright, so that is the rough overview of the Rogue Hunter, aka Eldar. Let's go see if we can put some of this to use. I think we're dominating. But let's go ahead and turn these guys back on so we can hear them, at least. And audio options, let's turn my mic back on so they can hear me. And let's go.
Oh, hey. Nope, same team, buddy. Still same team.
Eden Corp's data transfer is now closer to completion than Syndicate's.
Oh, check that out. There's a power up in the middle.
Attention, Eden Corp has almost...
Where is he? Right, let's get some higher ground. Saija coming bottom right. Alright, so that was the tracking shot.
Good shot. I have such a hard time killing that sword chick.
Yeah, the trick is to keep a tracking shot notched and be able to get that second shot off on her before she gets close. Oh, like that. She's on the point.
Yep.
Nice.
Your chief executive, get back to the control point.
I still miss. Or maybe she's just indestructible, I don't know.
Successfully defended the data.
Yep.
Syndicate forces are advised to flee the scene.
She is a bit ridiculous in the skilled player's hands.
What are you doing? Get back out there!
I can't. Alright, we will do one more. We must. Because that was a piss poor showing.
The terrorists of Syndicate have infiltrated our glorious home. They seek to disrupt our harmonious core culture. It is imperative to claim the extractor.
Same matchup.
The match will begin shortly. Eden would like to remind both teams that all participants should be prepared to kill for their newly cemented worldview. Additional Syndicate operatives have joined the battle. Additional Eden executives have joined the battle.
Let's capture this. Damn it.
Until the Syndicate terrorists are on the point.
Syndicate data transfer is now closer to completion than Eden.
Not the best matchup.
You're still on the clock, executive. Stop standing around.
Yo, what's going on?
Yeah, you're pretty quiet, but the objective right now is to kill Kados.
Okay. Who's Kados? And how do I
The enemy Saija.
Okay, thank you. I just follow you and try to do something
Okay.
useful. So what's that thing you just picked up there?
It's one of the power-ups on the map.
Hey, I think I killed someone. Whoops.
Oh, come on.
Your win condition is
As usual?
actually dependent on the other person dying.
Or... Huh. No.
What are you doing? Get back out
Alright.
there!
Where did you get
Forces
that
are
bow?
halfway to their objective. Eden executives are advised to report to the control point with all due
Whoops.
haste.
Ay, ay.
Spawn camping.
Yeah, somebody needs to get to that point and cap it.
Is there any way to see a map or something?
Not really.
No. But I don't know.
Got it.
When we are camping.
Drive those terrorists out!
Alright, so the main objective of the game is to cap this. It's King of the Hill.
Okay.
Hold on to this until we extract it all.
Oh. Yeah. And not be killed again.
Not be killed is always a good plan.
Yeah.
Get back in the feel of it. Took a minute to warm up.
And you don't have to be on the point. There's like high ground that you can get onto as well.
Right.
Okay. Thank you. Whoa. Whoops. Ah, shit. How do I change direction?
Coming up behind you, coming up behind you.
Excellent. Those cities that are done. The data is ours. Your skills are
Got her.
most impressive, Executive.
Can someone go on the point and finish securing it?
It's secured. It's ours. As long as it's blue.
No. But it's like at 20%.
Yeah, that's just time.
Got him.
There's one gonna be coming. Behind you, behind you. Behind you.
I'm running.
Got her.
What?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Wait a...
There we go.
There you go.
There's just a sign that tells me to face the cameras and to press right joystick to rotate.
Are
That's a
you,
bug, right?
you're on the Oculus?
A syndicate operative has left the battle area. A new Eden executives are halfway to their objective. I guess Syndicate doesn't really want to save the world.
Damn it.
Terrorists off the control point. Syndicate is attacking the data extractor. Defend it!
Oh.
Syndicate is trying to wrap its tendrils around precious data. Do not let them.
Let's try Bishop.
Sounds like it.
Oh, gotcha.
The data core is ours. Eden will not
Behind you.
fall before the axe of war.
Got her.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
That was terrifying.
Yeah, Saija can be a
Hate that
bitch up
character
close.
so much. I think they could remove the character from the game.
Nah, she's good. It's a high skill cap character. The reward, the risk for getting into melee range at a shooter game should be some pretty high damage.
Take the extractor. Kill them.
She's got a very distinct. Oh,
Current objective. Don't
she's got a very distinct footstep too to watch out for.
over until you get it right.
Yeah.
Eden executives have nearly finished their data transfer. Reminder, the losing force will have their organs donated to Watson Genomics' continued scientific efforts.
Oh,
Every time he says that, I think of IBM Watson. That Eden is just the evolution of IBM.
maybe. That would be sad if Watson gets degraded to just a personal servant in the future.
Acceptable work, executives. Syndicate is defeated. For now.
Damn, I got him. You got him.
Yep, got him.
So how are you, when you draw the arrow, how do you aim the bow?
With your hands. I mean, it's just like
No. I mean, like, where do you put your head when you look down the shaft? Because
I'm not so much aiming the bow as I'm firing, reaching over your shoulder. There's a tracking arrow that you can shoot, and anyone you tag with that, it's basically a homing arrow.
but you still have to tag him.
Yeah, that's an AoE. I don't have to hit them directly with that. Here.
Hi there. I'm back in your team. Mostly balanced.
Really quick. So, look over by the doorway. Oh, wait, you're not him anymore. Never mind. It's in the middle of a conversation when we switched.
Okay.
Are you talking to me now?
Not prepared to fight should find the nearest exit. If you are unable to find an exit, please use this
Let's
time
go
to
ahead
consider
and
your life
exit
the choices that brought you here.
this. Okay, so that was Eldar, I think Rogue Arrow or Rogue Hunter or whatever he's called. I will be doing videos for the other three as well. For right now, I'm going to end it with that. He's pretty fun. He's, I think, on the higher end of the skill cap, probably just under Saija, just because of the bow and arrow aiming system, but yeah, to kind of counter that, the tracking arrow is pretty strong in countering Saija if you can put the distance between her. As long as she doesn't get up on top of you. Pretty much the same with Boss. You don't want to let him get up on top of you. Bishop, I think you're going to have a fairly easy time against. Again, as long as you can get that tracking arrow off. That thing kind of puts him on easy mode a little bit. As long as you don't get ambushed by anyone, you should do pretty well. I like him. I think he feels good. I'm not super great with the sniper gameplay, but once I discovered the tracking arrow, things got a lot better. The decoy here, I haven't found a lot of use for it. I kind of wish it was easier to deploy. The having to turn my attention down here. No, I'm not sure what that was. Oh, I think I'm intentionally exploding him. And that is what's killing me. Yeah, like I said, I haven't found any real use out of him. Most people sort of ignore him. I think maybe if he moved around with you, he might be a little bit better. Which one do I attack? But as of right now, he basically just gets ignored by everyone that I've seen play him, and I think it's just a little obvious that if you're standing here next to him and you start running away, you're the obvious target. So there's a little bit of that mind game with him. I don't know. He doesn't seem to really work very well, in my opinion. But other than that, I like all of his abilities. I didn't actually get to use the arrow shot. Oh, look at that. That's new. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, that is his other ability, the Cryo Arrow. That's the one that we don't get in PvP. That was not what I had actually intended to use. This is the one I wanted to use. So what I mentioned earlier, the quick shots all have the explosion. Oh, and now it's going to make me a liar. Okay, so the piercing shot did have a bigger explosion. I don't actually see that in the PvP mode. So that's an interesting bug at the moment. Just one to note if you get into the PvP weekend and start playing. That, I think, is going to do it, guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Please be sure to hit that like, sub, comment down below, and I will see you later.